GameStop announced today that it is naming George Sherman as its new Chief Executive Officer. Translation, CEO. So, that's what today's video is going to be talking about. It's going to be talking about GameStop's new CEO, George. And the problem with this news is that everyone's already assuming that GameStop is now dead. And I don't quite understand where that ideal assumption comes from. I really don't know what happened, or what made people think it for that matter. But yeah, it's kind of looking towards the ideal fact that no one thinks GameStop is going to survive after this rate. It's weird because, you know, before, the majority of people that was talking about GameStop and stuff like that said they may last about 5 years. With this new CEO, all of a sudden now it's dropped to 2 years. I know nothing about this George Sherman guy. I really don't know anything about him. Except for the fact that he used to be in charge of other places. Like, for example, according to what it said, Best Buy, Target, frickin' Advanced Auto Parts, which is weird, you know? You got this guy, and he hasn't even been CEO for more than a month, and already people are assuming that GameStop is ready to die. And it's like, guys, we don't even know what his initiative plan is. All we know is that he's fixing to go through a major overhaul for GameStop. And it's like, okay guys, what changed things? Who is this guy? Who is he? What made you think that GameStop is dead? Okay, I want to know more. It's like, you're not telling me much except for what he used to do. Gaming is not that much of a difference, except it's more of a hobby now, rather than Advanced Auto Supply, or Best Buy, and Target, and stuff like that. If he is a hobbyist person, the chances are he has an ideal assumption of how GameStop can survive. And that's something that he has to have a mindset of. Admittedly, he has to have a mindset of a collector. If he doesn't, then there's no way he's going to stand a chance of surviving in this new realm of like, hey, GameStop, let's go for this ideal and stuff like that. You have to know what you're fixing to go yourself into. That much I understand. But everyone is saying that we're already in the digital age. And it's like, no, we're not. We're still selling physical media. It's going to be at least another, like, 5 or so years before we can actually strictly say it's a digital era now, because companies are moving into that realm. It's like, really, guys? Really? You think physical media is dead? Hello, we still got DVDs, we still got Blu-ray, we still got video games. Why do you think physical media is dead? Why do you think that? You know, where are you coming up with these assumptions? You're thinking we're in the now. We're not in the now. We're still in the here we are. We're nowhere near what the future is holding and stuff like that. Plus, we don't even know if the future is going to be where they say it is. You know, it doesn't make sense to me. So, what I'm about to tell people, I hope GameStop and I hope George Sherman is listening to this video, because I'm going to give you some clear advice. Okay, I'm going to give you some clear advice. Don't jump into cloud gaming. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, if you're thinking of that, don't jump into it. Everyone else is jumping into it. The last thing you need to do is jump on something that everyone else is, okay? Because here's a problem. You're GameStop. Bear with me when I say this. You're GameStop. Yes, you would think cloud gaming would be right up your alley, but don't. Don't do cloud gaming. You want to know what's going to happen? Everyone else is jumping on board on this cloud gaming service. Less than 30% of those people are going to succeed. The rest is going to have to shut down their services because they can't produce the productive that they need in order to keep the thing running. You're only going to throw away money if you jump into cloud gaming, so don't do that. Okay, don't do that. You're already too late on it. Don't jump into it. Okay? Instead, jump into what you've been doing lately in the past, like, year, I've noticed. You've been jumping into more of a hot topic of gaming. Okay, that's where you should really be at. Admittedly, some people have doubts on it and everything like that, but really, in all honesty, I think that's really the general direction they just need to be in. Okay, they just need to have a better selection of gaming merchandises that people want to grab. You know what I mean? Makes sense, you know? Get better merchandises, get better names of games. Don't just get, like, any Fortnite. Don't get any, like, Call of Duty. Get something that everyone else is gonna like. Obviously, people love Mario. Get a lot of Mario merchandise. Legend of Zelda. Get more Legend of Zelda merchandise. Pokemon, which is the biggest brand in video game history. You might as well jump on it. Get more Pokemon or something like that, you know? And slowly but surely, they've even gotten to anime for that matter, you know? Get some anime shirts and stuff like that. If Hot Topic can do it, surely to goodness you guys can, you know? Do something. Do something along that line. Yes, occasionally sell video games and stuff like that, but don't make that into your main staple of selling, okay? If your main sell is physical media, it will eventually slow down. Admittedly so, it will eventually. Because essentially what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot of people trading in their old stuff just to make a profit out of it, and you're not going to make much of a profit out of it anyway. So instead, just try to concentrate more on the merchandise side of things and less on the actual games themselves. You know, occasionally, yes, do pre-orders on games and stuff, because essentially what's going to happen is this. Say, for example, you still carry out the pre-order thing, where, hey, if you pre-order a game, you know, you can do payments and stuff with the game as it gets ready to be released and stuff. Which, that's why I do that. If there's a game that I know for a fact that I'm going to be playing on day one when it comes out, I will pre-order that game. And then I will do payments as the year goes by when the game gets ready to get released later on and stuff like that, you know? Of course, I usually wait until I get the official date. Doesn't always happen, but there you go. There's my reason. But anyway, so you have to find a way to improve stuff, you know? Do improvements that's going to encourage people to shop in your store. And I wouldn't say, you know, get more gamers. No, get everyone, you know? I can tell you that there are people out there who still goes for the pronunciation of Pokemon. And it's like, no, it's Pokemon. And they'll say Pokemon, and it's like, whatever. They'll still purchase Pokemon stuff. Even though they have no idea about the franchise, they'll still get Pokemon stuff. Hell, with Detective Pikachu on the way, you can sell Pokemon stuff right there. Okay? I'm serious. Hey, Detective Pikachu is a cash cow that you can jump on easily. Okay? You can do that. And hell, do this, even though it's a scary area to jump into. I admit this goes beyond your ideal of expertise, but jump into Magic of the Gathering, okay? There are actual retro game stores that actually have a back section. I can actually think of 3, actually, that I've been to in the past couple of years, where not only do they sell retro games and stuff, they also sell merchandise as well as trading cards. And Magic of the Gathering is their biggest one. Go figure. But jump into Magic of the Gathering. Expand on that, you know? Make little, like, tournaments and stuff that people can get into and stuff. Try to lure in people that you have a genuine ideal interest of getting into, okay? Try to encourage that. Encourage wanting more people, okay? Encourage people to come in. Do little events and stuff of that nature. If you do something like that, I can guarantee you, you might be able to survive, okay? Admittedly, this goes beyond their expertise and stuff like that, but the guy used to work for Advanced Auto Parts, okay? When you work in Advanced Auto Parts, you have to be engaging with the customer. Literally, you have to. If a customer is wanting to get a part, you have to be engaging as to like what part they're looking for, what type of grade part are they needing, what car models are going to be for. You have to be engaging to your customers, you know? You know, get as much information as you can about the customer, and therefore you can sell a better product to them. This is no major difference, except it's a different area and field. Do something along that lines, and I can guarantee you can probably survive. Okay? And if you want to keep the rewards program, which they are already announcing that they're going to keep it and do better with it, okay? Let me tell you what you need to do. Get some stuff, okay? Get some stuff. I don't know what happened, but for the last 2 years they've had their rewards program, there's been nothing on there. And that was weird. It's like they had stuff, but then they dropped it, and it's like, where did everything else go? record, you get discounts on games and other stuff of that line, and it's like, okay, that's fine, that's okay. I like getting $5 off of a game stuff, no problem. But at least give me better offers, you know, give me better offers for a reward program. You know, it's like, what is the main reason for having a rewards program? It is to reward customers for buying more merchandises and stuff. You know, and technically Advanced Auto Parts actually does have a rewards program. So it's like, yeah, it can work. You just got to get better at giving better rewards to your customers. Give it a reason. Don't just throw in like a point or two and everything like that. Give them a reason to spend more for their buck, you know? If you have to increase the point range, then do so. Or if you have to give out better rewards, do that as well. There are a bunch of different business strategies that you yourself can do as a game store. You're not just a retail store, you're a game store. Think in that mindset, and maybe you might do better when it comes to actually making GameStop profitable. I'm making it sound like as if I'm making them a better company, which I know for a fact they're not that great, and I've heard a lot of bad things about GameStop, but let me tell you a story. My GameStop is the only gaming theme store we have. The only in my town. I can walk to it. It is the only one that we have. If I want to go to any other game store, I would have to drive for an hour probably before I get to one. 2 or 3 depending on the direction. And while yes, they are better retro game stores, I'm not gonna lie, they are better. But GameStop is the only game store that I have in town, okay? And while yes, their prices are a little bit steep, they are nothing compared to a pawn shop. I'm gonna tell you right now. It is better than a pawn shop. You go to a terrible pawn shop, and you'll find out real quickly that they are all about profit. I mean, yes, record, that makes sense, you know? You buy stuff from people and then you sell it for a profit, right? That's understandable. But these guys sell it for ridiculous prices that's not going to sell. You know, like GameStop was selling Brutal Legends for the PlayStation 3 for like $14 at the time. It's probably now $7, but I'm just saying for a sample. When I went to this one pawn shop, they were trying to sell it for like $35. Okay? It's insane. And for like a Call of Duty, they were probably selling it for like $30. I had never saw a game, much less if it was a PS2, sell for less than $20. They were selling it for like higher than that. It was ridiculous. And the weird thing is, they were like the highest popular pawn shop in town. They were like the highest. And it was ridiculous. No one wanted to shop there except for like their guns. Obviously, people wanted to have guns. I live in Tennessee, okay? We've got a bunch of hillbillies here. Get used to it. But, yeah, game shops just are not a thing in Crossville. I'd be lucky enough if I was able to find 1 or 2 games in a pawn shop. Hell, if I found 5, that was a fantastic day to go. And they were at a good price. Okay? Me and Daniel actually went around Crossville just to look around at all the different pawn shops that we've never went into. And we were like, you know what, we're going to explore. We're going to be careful, but we're going to explore. And it was the best day ever because I actually found a handful of games that I've been wanting to get for quite some time. And for the most part, some of them was actually a good price. That one pawn shop I was telling you about, it's no longer in business because of how high a price they were going on everything else. Record now is a gun shop now, but hey, it's gone. I don't have to worry about outrageous prices. GameStop is the last known game store that I can actually go to, okay? Where I just can find gaming merchandises. And I always do this. I always go in there anytime I get a chance to. If I am purchasing a game, I will purchase a game that I've been wanting to get. If I'm pre-ordering a game, I will stop in there every month or less in order to pay off for that pre-order game. If I just wanted to pop in there for a few minutes, I'll pop in there a few minutes, and if I see something that I want to get, I'll get it, you know? Hell, I've been collecting some of the Kingdom Hearts fig pins that they've been having on their store shelf. They have good merchandises, you just gotta look good enough, and if it's a franchise that you're interested in, you know? And hell, I'll give you one more thing too. GameStop, if you want to encourage customers to come in, do a survey. Ask them what game system they like. Ask them what games they prefer. Ask them what game series they love, you know? Record, yes, that's a broad subject. But still, to a point, do something of that nature, you know? Encourage customers to want to shop more at GameStop. Because, let's face it, if GameStop goes, there goes my merchandises. The majority of stuff I'm going to have to order through Amazon or eBay. And, not to say they're bad, but I like GameStop. I do. Plus, the people that work there, they're very nice people. I like them. And I hate for anything bad to happen to them. In fact, I don't want nothing bad to happen to them. I want them to get the best of the best that they can get because they treat me nice. They treat me like a person, not a customer, a person. Every once in a while, they'll throw stuff at me. They'll be like, hey, they're the Kingdom Hearts merchandise that we're fixing to get. And I'll be like, okay, well, let's take a look. And they actually know me better than anyone else. It's like, hey, we have something you might like. And it's like, well, okay, I definitely want to pre-order that. Oh, shit, I have no money. But you get what I'm saying. The people over there are nice at my GameStop. I don't know about everybody else, but my GameStop is really nice. And I hope this guy figures out what he's going to do. I hope he figures it out quick, because obviously people are already thinking that GameStop is going to die. And I don't want that to happen. I really don't. I want them to succeed. I want them to get back on their feet. I want them to be back to being the good old GameStop that I first went into years ago. You know, and that was back whenever PS2 was still around, and it was a great time. You know? I want them to be back, but I want them to be back and stronger than ever. I want them to have a confidence in themselves, you know? But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. That was just my opinions about the future of GameStop. I'm hoping that George will figure it out, and hopefully GameStop will survive a little bit longer. I would like for them to stay for a lot longer, but we know how that works. In this day and age, companies don't last longer than what they are now. So, anyway, see you in the next video.